Do you remember the last time someone went out of their way to help you without you asking? I've had my coffee paid for me at the Caribou drive-thru before, and I've paid it forward to the next person behind me. One time, a stranger in St. Paul paid for my daily parking pass because I didn't have any cash and it was cash only. And over Christmas break, I let a woman use my phone to call for help after I watched her and another car collide on the highway. I want you all to understand that we pay it forward to help ourselves, to help each other, and to help the hand toss of individuals as a holistic dynamic. We need to feel loved, accepted, and happy within our social settings. We all want better. By putting focus on others, we feel better about ourselves. According to Nate Long from 5 Reasons Why You Should Pay It Forward on November 18, 2016, an article states, "We all want peace in the world, clean water for our families to drink, a pollution-free environment, a loving society. All these are the basic needs of people. At some point in time, each of us in our own lives will have an unfulfilled need. We, as individuals, want the same things, and when we have what we need, then we should be giving others the same." Nate Long also states that paying it forward means putting your focus on others and thinking of them in the same way as you do yourself. It reflects the idea of treating someone the way you want to be treated, or the golden rule, as we all know. It teaches you to love yourself. What people do for others reflects what they do for themselves. Not only does paying it forward reveal acceptance and love of ourselves, it brings a symbiotic relationship amongst our peers. This illustrates the need that we have for one another and builds trust that we can each depend on. If you pay it forward, it will come around. Knowing the satisfaction explains why we do it and why it brings us together. When people feel this gratification, it spreads like a chain reaction, every person feeling symptoms of generosity and fellowship within our social settings. For those of us who believe in karma, the idea that what goes around comes around, paying it forward acts as a motivation to influence the good karma in the world. According to an article by Lucia Peters on August 21st, 2014, titled "Starbucks Pay It Forward Chain in Florida Might Just Restore a Little Faith in Humanity," a Starbucks in St. Petersburg, Florida experienced a fabulous chain, an 11-hour chain where the baristas had tallied 378 people that had paid for the person behind them. So you can imagine the inspiring gumption some people have to do things for one another. But some say this reaction is out of greed and not generosity. According to an article by the American Psychological Association on December 18, 2012, titled "Greed, Not Generosity, More Likely to Be Paid Forward," students at Harvard University conducted a study using 5 experiments involving money or work. Participants who received an act of generosity didn't pay any generosity forward any more than those who had been treated equally. But participants who had been the victims of greed were more likely to pay greed forward to a future recipient, creating a negative chain reaction. Kurt Gray, PhD, also says from the American Psychological Association, "Unfortunately, greed or looking out for ourselves is more powerful than true acts of generosity." So you can agree or disagree that paying it forward is done to show signs of care and love, or just a reciprocity mimicked for publicity. Either way, the physical and verbal contact we use with one another is what it really comes down to. As Milena Tetskova and Michael Macy write in the New York Post newspaper on March 14, 2014, society is now dominated by beliefs, attitudes, and ways of thinking that elevate the values of impulse, instant gratification, and loss of control of first-line actions and reactions. But when we slow our lives down to interact with one another, we are less distracted by our impulsive lives in this fast-paced technologic era. Many people are claiming independence, not marrying or having kids, which can sometimes resort to isolation. When you realize that you might be paying it forward just for someone who may feel alone, that's when it really pays off. So picture yourself at an airport, a hospital, sitting in your car at the side of a road and seeing a homeless person. Or somewhere as simple as, on the weekend with your friends at the bars, at parties, whatever it may be. Can you imagine what people are going through? So help find a flight, donate money, or offer someone a ride home. The point is, people need each other. We need each other. We are adapted to have to need each other. We need to pay it forward because we need to help our communities, and when we reach out, it becomes contagious. More insight written by Milena Tiskova in The Social Contagion of Generosity on February 18, 2014. One possible explanation is that helping is driven by receiving or observing help. In other words, generosity towards strangers may be socially contagious. In recent years, social scientists have conducted experiments demonstrating that the effect of a single act of kindness can in fact ripple through a social network, setting off chains of generosity that reach far beyond the original act. Humans, after all, are inherently social beings. Am I right? According to John T. Cacioppo, author of Loneliness, Human Nature, and the Need for Social Connection, when people are asked what pleasures contribute most to happiness, the overwhelming majority rate love, intimacy, and social affiliation above wealth or fame, even above physical health. He also writes, social isolation has an impact on health comparable to the effect of high blood pressure, lack of exercise, obesity, and even smoking. So overall, paying it forward is what makes the world go around. We need one another's help, and we'll continue to do it. Before the internet posted its pay it forward stories, this idea actually came about from an author named Lily Hardy Hammond, who wrote In the Garden of Delight, published in 1916. This book pertains to the events of racism in the once present-day Tennessee and Lily's hopeful belief of meaningful relationships underneath the societal hate. She understood the true aspects of love and justice. So, now that we can reflect, we understand that we need to feel loved, accepted, happy. Understanding how pay it forward benefits each of us and benefits how we truly need one another in this world is vital in making the slightest effort to take it into our own hands to create a random act of kindness. I want each of you to find a gap or space that needs your perspective and your help so as to lighten someone's day or who knows, maybe even save a life. I want you all to pay it forward. Initiate random acts of kindness today and tomorrow you will be blessed. Lily Hardy Hammond said, "You don't pay love back, you pay it forward." Even 100 years ago, this idea was not new.